I really like what Omnius is doing. I was first introduced to the Omnius company and the business model about 6-8 months ago. I had my first discussion with Sophie, and I really liked it from the beginning, and that's when we decided that we'll try to work together a bit to convince insurers that this is going to help them to develop their business models even further. I really enjoyed the summit. I learned a lot this morning because I'm not really an expert for artificial intelligence. I more think about artificial intelligence in terms of how I could apply this technology to problems in the industry I'm looking at, and that's the insurance industry. But this morning we had quite a few speakers explaining artificial intelligence in words even I could understand. I think that the insurance industry is still at the very beginning of using artificial intelligence. The use cases we have seen so far are typically smaller applications, but I do believe that there is quite some potential in artificial intelligence. And one aspect will be to automate processes which eat up a lot of resource today. So that will make the industry more cost efficient, will make products cheaper for customers, and will benefit people at the companies as well, because they don't have to just perform stupid tasks which machines can do as well as people can. I also do believe that artificial intelligence can be a powerful tool when it comes to aiding better decisions. I don't see artificial intelligence replacing human decision-making, but I do see artificial intelligence helping humans make better decisions. So think of a sales agent for an insurance company. He usually has to cover a very broad portfolio of products. And you come as a customer and talk to this guy, and he probably knows 20% of a product portfolio, and you might not get the best advice because the agent is focusing on the products he knows really well. With artificial intelligence supporting him, aiding him to make the best product decision for his or her customer out of a broad portfolio, I think that the quality of advice and also the success of sales could be improved significantly. And I'm sure that there are many more applications I don't see today, or we don't see as a community today, because from what I heard from one of the speakers this morning, we are still in the infant stage of artificial intelligence. He compared it to a baby which was still crawling before it starts walking and running. And that's where I see the insurance industry as well, just experimenting with artificial intelligence. And I'm sure that there will be use cases we cannot imagine today. Obviously, the very large insurance companies have more resources to really think these cases through in the beginning. So when it comes to scouting new ideas, the big insurance companies definitely do have an advantage. Nevertheless, I believe that it will be relevant for everybody in the insurance industry as long as you're doing certain lines of business. And I think that artificial intelligence will be very helpful in all retail lines of business, where you have a large number of cases, where you have many documents, where you have a large number of customers you have to serve, either in customer service or with your sales force. So I would think that those companies with a focus on retail customers will benefit most. And then it doesn't matter anymore whether it's a market leader with 15% market share or whether it's a regional player. As long as I'm serving this group of customers, I have to somehow implement artificial intelligence components into my business processes. The way how I implement them might be different. A large company may be able to develop certain things themselves or work with big tech companies. A smaller insurer might decide to outsource it completely, and that means that the big tech companies, which are just providing platforms, will not be sufficient. So then you need consultants or startups, companies like Omnius, which help them with the entire process, while Omnius, for a larger company, will probably just implement certain use cases. But I don't think that you can just like walk around artificial intelligence just because you're not one of the top 5 companies of the market. Well, Lemonade is a little company today. It doesn't mean that it will be a little company 5 or 10 years down the road. I think they have done a wonderful job in innovating certain aspects of a business model. If they keep doing that, they can become one of the more relevant players of the market. So, but I really don't see just the Lemonades or Metro Miles or Oscars of this world as the digital or the artificial intelligence companies. I do think that the incumbents, that the larger players which have been around for 100 or more years, that they have to implement this know-how as well. I don't see a world where incumbents just stay with the old business model, while startup insurtechs will adopt the new model. This won't work, and this would be a very silly decision by the incumbents not to work with AI. So Lemonade is definitely a good case example. It's driving the industry, it's forcing incumbents to think more about artificial intelligence, but they'll have to keep innovating themselves too. Otherwise, they will only have been relevant for a few years. But I'm quite sure that they'll be able to do it. I think the biggest challenge in implementing artificial intelligence components are the legacy IT systems. It's not so much the people who don't want it. I don't buy that. But I do believe that working with the legacy IT systems of incumbent insurers can be a significant challenge. You have to see that insurance is a long-term business. If you acquire a customer today, let's say in life or health insurance, this customer may stay for 50 or more years with you. And the insurance companies have contracts which have been in their portfolios for decades. And they have been administrated in systems which have been around for decades. So now this new technology comes and you want to benefit from the technology, but you still have the old IT systems around it. And finding efficient ways of not disregarding the fact that there are legacy IT systems, but bringing new technology and existing technology together, that will be a huge challenge, and that will probably make the difference between companies which just supply smaller components and those which are really able to build AI components and build larger elements of the insurance business model. I think that insurers will look for AI solutions because they have the potential to solve some of the bigger problems of the insurance industry, like a cost ratio which is too high, like complexity which is not manageable by human beings in a single instance. An agent who doesn't know the entire product portfolio needs support. So AI is a powerful tool to support this agent. So if we apply it in the relevant areas of the business model, then I am quite sure that there's a good future for this type of technology in insurance company.